Hey everybody, Eric here from Tattoo Collectables, and while it's not technically Christmas, it certainly feels like Christmas around here today. I have some stuff in the mail that I'm gonna love opening for you guys. Check this out.
What's in the mail?
So, we're just gonna jump right into it today. This is from, you know who, everybody notices the little things on here. This is from Painted Trunk. I got this in the mail a week ago, and I have been biting at the bit to open this. So, here we go. We just pop this lid. Now this, I got this from Painted Trunk, like I said, about a week ago. And I was super excited about this one because it is a rare one. And he always, as always, he sends a little something extra. Love his tubes too. Okay, so the extra that he sent this time was a Rembrandt piece that's laminated. I'm not sure why they called this guy Rembrandt, because this flash is less than, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate the free flash, don't get me wrong. But as far as doing any of this, I'd be hard pressed to actually put this on anyone. But this is a production sheet from Mr. Rollo from 1990. This is a Mike Malone production sheet. Now this isn't a copy. Like a lot of them, you'll get cheap copies of them. Painted Trunk assured me this is not a cheap copy. This is the copy that he got from Mike Malone when you buy a set. So this is awesome. The artwork on it is really fun. It's all rock and roll oriented, and it's definitely, you can tell it is definitely 90s. But I love it. I think it's awesome. I am going to display this, chances are, with his card, because I've got a card from Mike Malone as well. So it'll be, I'll frame the flash and then frame the card right under it. You'll see. I'll get to that in an episode and show you all that. Alrighty, next up is, who's this from? This is from Hollister, Missouri. That's all I'll tell you. Hollister, Missouri. So, let's see. This one was already open. So, I got this about a week ago as well. That's why it's open. It's really hard to wait on stuff like this, and it was like a nesting doll when I opened it. First you had this, and then it was in this, and then it was in this. But you finally get to the heart of the matter here, and it is a beautiful little collection from the Lyle Tuttle 1995 roast of Lyle Tuttle. Lyle Tuttle medium rare is what they called it. There's a circa 1988 and a circa 1960 picture on the front. On the inside, it shows where it was going to be, which was the 365 Bimbo Club, which I actually got some footage of the Bimbo Club when I was in San Francisco. It was like a block down from Lyle's shop, and I thought, Bimbo Club, that's funny. So I got some pictures of it and some video of it, not knowing at that point that that's where this roast took place back in the 90s. Now, this is the packet that they would have sent you if you were a tattoo artist or a tattoo shop, or if you were on Tuttle's mailing list. You would have gotten one of these with one of these. Now, this is the form that you'd fill out on the back, and you would say whether you wanted a table, like to purchase a whole table to be there, or if you just wanted to purchase one seat to be there. The tables were between $200 and $300, and that was on the main floor center section. And then they went down to like $255 to $170 if you wanted to sit in the rear section. And then I guess there was a second level in the place. They packed this place out, I'm sure. But yeah, they ranged from $27 a seat on up to $300 for a table. And then this is what I thought was the neatest about this. So this, a lot of people might have this, but this, a lot of people filled out, sent in this envelope, and reserved their table. Whoever had this one kept everything. They didn't actually end up going to the event, which is unfortunate for them. And then on the back is a little explanation of why they were roasting him. This was for Tuttle's 60th year in the business. Recently, me and a colleague went to the 70th year anniversary, and it was phenomenal. Everyone was there. Believe me when I tell you, there will be an episode on the 70th with Tuttle. Now, this is the one. Let me get something to open this with. Okay. This is the one that I've been waiting for. So, when I was coming up in this industry, my mentor had a Dennis Dwyer nail machine. Now, that was his daily driver. He swore by it and said that it was probably the best machine that he'd ever owned. And at the time, I'm sure that that was true. Today, there are definitely, I prefer different machines, but and it's because I could not get a Dennis Dwyer nail. So I never had any basis of comparison. Another nesting doll. So I saw this on eBay. There was a collection of tattoo machines. So here we go. This is a Puma 2 by Spaulding Rogers. Now this is from the early 90s. You can tell by the straight screws on it. It looks all original. Even the contact point, the little plastic screw, even the little top hat that normally would have been lost. I think even the little top hat, I do believe, is original to this machine. Now, had this been an 80s machine, it would have had different coils on it. And if it were a 70s machine, it wouldn't have had this little arm thing right here on it. They came out with that mid 80s. So this I would put probably in the $150 to $200 range. Super nice little machine. Here's how it runs. All right, so that one has already been sold. A colleague of mine saw when I purchased them, and he said, "Oh, I want that one." So that one is now his. So this that is an early 90s, and it may actually be a late 80s. A national flyweight. Now this is, if you watched Table Time ages ago when I filmed that, you'll recognize this machine from the first machines that I ever owned. With the main difference on this one, it's a swing gate, and it's got an ingenious way of doing the swing gate. Usually a swing gate, it'll just be the top of the tattoo machine. They'll bolt it in the bottom, and then they'll have a little spring thing on the top to where it'll fit pretty much any tube to put in it. This one, they covered the entire front with a separate piece. I've always thought this was a neat design. This one it was one of those machines that back in the day, you could get them for $190, $200 when they were originally sold. This one looks like it has been resprung. It has a national Y spring on the back. That's why I can tell it's definitely not an original spring. And it looks like the armature bar may have been changed as well. Those normally came with silver armature bars or silver colored armature bars. This one's a black one. Chances are somebody upgraded this one back in the day. It does have a silver contact point, which is nice. With the silver contact points, they don't shoot that blue spark off the back of them that some of these older machines will. this one, oh, and by the way, that one is up for grabs. It is $175. It's on my tattoo collectibles for sale site on Instagram. If you're interested in that machine, send me a DM or send me a message of some sort, and we'll get that sorted out. I accept PayPal if that helps. So, you saw the Puma 2, and that's what that first one was. It was a Puma 2. This is a Puma 1. Now, from the looks of it, the only main difference between how this is now and how it originally came is someone put a really nice silver contact point on this machine, and then it also has a silver contact point on the spring itself. That causes these machines to run incredibly well, even though this is a Spaulding machine as well. It's the first version of the Puma that they came out with, and the main difference is instead of the 3 little holes over here, which I'm assuming was easier to machine, they had this long evacuation here, which made them pretty light. And then on the bottom, it had a long evacuation as well that you could actually move depending on where your clip cord needed to be on the bottom. So these are like just fully adjustable little machines. It's super light. It probably weighs maybe 1.5 ounces, maybe 2. It's probably one of the lighter machines. It's actually lighter than the featherweight machine, which I thought was hilarious. This is their featherweight. But this is the Puma 1. This is from the mid-90s. They did change the screw patterns in the mid-90s, and you can tell on this one. But they are flush mount, so I do believe that these are mid-90s. Plus, you have the square front on your coils, which usually denotes late 80s to mid-90s. But with the pattern on the front, I would put this one in mid-90s. Now this one, you're looking at between $200 and $250 on these as far as what they're worth. This one is up for sale as well. This one will be $150. I will have it also on my tattoo collectibles for sale on Instagram, and I'll put the address on there. And here's how this one runs. So, on to the main reason that like all of these were just a bonus. The main machine that I was after was this one right here. Now, like I said, my mentor used one of these when I first started in the late 90s. He swore by this machine. This was the only machine that he would actually use to outline. From what I can tell on this machine, it has been messed with a bit. Normally, all the screws on a machine will match, normally. And these two absolutely do. Somebody, for some reason, has taken out the coil screws and replaced them. Now, I'm not sure why they would do that. I know they didn't replace the coils. Those coils look original to this machine. But it just breaks my heart. Somebody just took this machine apart and did whatever they wanted to it, I guess. I am gonna contact Dennis Dwyer about rebuilding this one because this one I want perfect. I think that this might have been replaced as well. It's a different color than the rest of the machine. It's silver still, but it's not nickel plated like the rest. The rest of the machine's nickel plated. And if you notice, you can really tell on the saddle area there and on the back of the swing arm that this was an actual nail that he had turned into a tattoo machine. Brilliant design. He doesn't make these anymore. I can only find one picture of these online, and it was an aluminum recast of this frame. So you don't see many of these out there. This one I'm going to put an estimate on of between $450 and $500 for this machine. It would be $500 to $600 if it were in better condition. This one's but you could tell this one was used and loved a bunch. The springs have been changed. The contact point's been changed. And that swing gate on the front there, I believe, is not original either. It just doesn't look like it goes with the rest of the machine. Whoever replaced it definitely replaced it with something that fit very well. So they knew what they were doing, but it's not a match for the machine. Now it could have come off another Dennis Dwyer nail machine, but I don't think so. I believe he plated most of his. And that is the exciting portion of today's event. Love this little machine, and Mr. Dwyer, if you are out there listening, thank you for building such a great machine back in the 90s. That's when this was from, by the way. This was a 1990s model. I am going to get this one back into full-on running condition. Here's how it runs now. See, so not bad, but I prefer them to run a lot better than that. So this one's definitely gonna be rebuilt. All right, and that was what was in the mail today. For me, it was like a little bit of Christmas right here in September. And we'll see you next time. Until then, keep collecting. Hey everybody, thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Please hit the subscribe button right below here and check out these videos if you liked what you saw today. Don't forget to hit the notifications bell and you'll get the first dibs on all of our videos that are coming up. Thank you.